Hey, this is Evan Woodbery with the Knoxville News Sentinel and Go Vols Extra. I'm here at Neyland Stadium as Tennessee is preparing for a game against Florida, a traditional rivalry game, their first SEC game of the season, and a rivalry that they haven't had much luck in the last 8 years, a losing streak that has gone on, and it's going to be another tough one this week. 14, 15-point underdogs on the road at the Swamp against the Florida Gators. Now, the Gators have struggled as well. They're off to a 1-1 start, didn't play very well at one of their rivalry games in Miami 2 weeks ago. But while Tennessee was at Oregon losing a very tough game, Florida had a week off to prepare, so you're going to see different mindsets of the two teams. Tennessee obviously has to recover physically and mentally from a very tough trip to Oregon, whereas Florida's had an extra week to prepare for this game and work out some of the things that went wrong earlier in the season. The big news this week going into Saturday will be the quarterback situation for Tennessee. Now, Butch Jones has offered some hints that he's opened up the quarterbacks race to everybody. The two freshmen, Riley Ferguson and Josh Dobbs, the redshirt freshman backup, Nate Peterman, and obviously the starting quarterback, Justin Worley, who's struggled a bit in the first 3 games. If nothing else, that gives Florida a lot more to think about this week. You've got quarterbacks in Peterman, but also the true freshmen, Ferguson and especially Dobbs. You've got quarterbacks that maybe have a little bit more of a running edge. Here's what Butch Jones had to say about what he looks for in a running quarterback. He said he's not necessarily looking for a pure dual threat guy, but he just wants someone who can run the offense efficiently.
Just like any position in our program, it's open. And whatever quarterback has the best week of practice will be the starter for Tennessee when we play Florida. And if that means a freshman quarterback, that means a freshman quarterback. We'll have more quarterback run into our package this week. And we just need to find ways to generate big explosive plays. And if that's Josh Dobbs running the read option, or Riley Ferguson, that's what we'll do. But we have to create big plays, and that's going to be a focus and preparation this week. The great quarterbacks, they have anticipatory skills. You know, they understand the body language, and that's where it gets back. They understand the body language of the receivers. So you're throwing a 15-yard dig, you know when that receiver's coming out of his dig before he gets to that 15 yards because of his body language. What we're looking for in our quarterbacks, just that aggressiveness, that kind of that arrogance. You know, every great quarterback has it about themselves. They have that it factor.
On the defensive side, Tennessee is a little bit thin in the middle. They've got Mo Couch, whose status officially is still uncertain, but it's quite possible that he's played his last game for Tennessee amid allegations of impermissible payments that he received last year. And then in the same position, you've got Travaris Salisbury, who sustained a serious knee injury last week at Oregon. And Butch Jones said he'll know more later, but it's going to be at least 3 to 6 weeks. This was a big game for Salisbury because he's a Gainesville native, grew up there. This is a game circled on his calendar. Butch Jones said that Salisbury has taken greater steps mentally than any other player on the roster, that he'd been really proud of the way he stepped up this year and was in a position for more playing time, and a freak injury has sidelined him. So that'll be something to watch, that soft middle of Tennessee's defense where they don't have a lot of depth at all, and they're going to be relying on some young guys after you get past Daniel McCullers and Daniel Hood. So a lot of storylines on both sides of the ball. It's going to be another challenge for the Vols. Perhaps not as great a challenge as the Oregon game was, but a different type of team, one that's going to try to beat you with an outstanding defense rather than an overpowering offense. And Tennessee will have to find something of its own to get going on offense if they want to have a hope of pulling an upset. Hope you'll join us throughout the week on Go Vols Extra leading up to Saturday's game. We'll have complete coverage from Gainesville and our Game Day Central feature. Plus, we'll have more videos from practice and news and notes and statistics throughout the week on Go Vols Extra.